land, you were many acts for we never see Katrina. Nah, those disaster. I feel nice we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana beach breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live, land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city, are the hypest. We see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them, we not like check. We got gold and diamond, them thing priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So I'm Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese and Guyana. That's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live, land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughter. Is we have the land where many ask for we never see Katrina or nah, those disaster. I feel nice we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none was slippy. Guyana we say big up on no city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live, land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, every master one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think them. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana.
Yeah.
Hello, Wagwan.
Yeah.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving
was robbing, and he's just hooding. Scrapes on his side, but this guy ain't no good. He walk all around the tongue, but he can't go abroad. Everybody know he's a big, big fraud. Every plane that land does give you a fright. That's why he does pray and cry every night. But people don't worry, have no fright, 'cause we gonna expedite the extra. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. Since I was young, now I old. Never know Guyana had so much gold. Ship it out but not pay taxes. I hear we owe in the millions. He spent half on them gas, them Brazilians. But soon they are reckoning a come. The laugh them a go laugh, I run them a go run. Run, 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 run. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. Just do it very quick, do it very shortly. Just do it, just do it. One of them chicks say he just come real quick. They say what wrong, why you moving so fancy? He panting, he sweating, he trembling inside. Say I can't stay long for the ride. Bye. They shut it down and GRA invoice. Smuggling, calling, let me make my choice. My choice. As Robin Hansel, watch how fast the story spell. Lamborghini price keep changing every minute. Fix it now, my friend. Make up your mind. We tired of the gimmicks. Oh, all them years you rip off the nation. Now you turn overnight big politician. I believe this song on Sinky mission. Just trying hard to dodgy extradition. We talk about change and new ambition, but we know it's just pure self-preservation. Why the paperwork tight, no more magician. Soon court gun tally for real submission. But people don't worry, have no fright, 'cause we gonna expedite the extra. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. Do it very quick, do it very shortly. I see some of you laughing, some of you crying. Please don't think we Guyanese stupid or stalling. They're living in mansion with pool and spouse. Guyanese living like church mouse. There is something really wrong here. This ain't right, this ain't right. That's why we wanna really expedite the extra time. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell, please tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon, do it very shortly. Do it very quick, do it very shortly. Expedite the extra time. Soon the FBI plane gonna land. Expedite the extra time. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Expedite the extra time. As Robin Hansel.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Yo, nobody not selling out. We talking facts, facts we dealing with. Nobody not selling out. We talking facts. I been to Guyana, man. I have to go back. The way how the country looking, man, they left me shocked. Who's ever in charge? Them putting we on the map. The men them look healthy, the girls them look hot. I went to a meeting. I don't know if chicken curry. Them Guyanese eating, man. The government work. The government working. government working, the 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 government working. This one's for them haters, who attacking Guyana. Show them your little finger, show them your little finger, show them the 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 little finger. The government working, 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 the government working. Don't mix me with politics. I yes, the guy and his critics. I just want the country fix. Man, I come for some kicks. Can leave the bumper fake. We call it a camera trick. And if you rest it to me, I still give it some licks. The government working, 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 the government. This is for the hater, for the hater. This is for the hater. We're running down Guyana. For the hater, show them little finger, show them your little finger, little finger, show them your little finger, little finger, show them your little finger. Government working, the 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 government working. Now don't mix me, don't mix me, don't mix me. The government working. I don't do politics. Just get jacket, right? Get jacket. Walking. They're walking. Them walking. They're walking. Now I said them walking. You don't mix me. I don't do politics. Nobody not selling out. We talking facts. Facts we dealing with. Nobody not selling out. We talking facts. I been to Guyana, man. I have to go back. The way how the country looking, man, they left me shocked. Who's ever in charge? Them putting we on the map. The men them look healthy. The girls them look hot. I went to a meeting. I don't know if it's chicken curry. Them Guyanese eating, man. The government work. The government working. 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 This one's for them haters. For them haters who attacking Guyana. Show them your little finger. Show them your little finger. Show them the 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 little finger. The government working. 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 Don't mix me with politics. I yes, the guy and his critics. I just want the country fix. Man, I come for some kicks. Can leave the bumper fake. We call it a camera trick. And if you rest it to me, I still give it some licks.
Good evening, and welcome to this special edition of Livewire as we take a look at what would have transpired over the past week in relation to excuse me, the presentation and the debate of Budget 2026. As you would know, the government side of the House would have given their assessment of the budget, given some history lessons as well, and the opposition had their opportunity to share their views on the budget, and all sections of the opposition, and that indeed is a wide cross section now, from what we're accustomed to, that unified section, all moving in one direction. But it seems we have at least a two-way split. We've seen that Forward Movement Guyana has seemed to align itself with the We Invest in Nationhood party, and the APNU, as normal, heading down a road only they know where it leads to. Nevertheless, we'll look at, as I said, some of the stuff that transpired over budget debates 2026, and we'll discuss it as it goes. But we must start with the political earthquake. The political earthquake in the National Assembly, that of 12 seats, which is the APNU coalition. I keep trying to add the AFC, but as we all know, the AFC is dead and gone. Now, the collapse of the APNU is historic, not temporary. The APNU now holds 12 seats. As Minister Ashley Singh said, the smallest PNC presence in the National Assembly in history. This is not spin. This is electoral humiliation. This is not PPP propaganda. This is parliamentary maths. The opposition benches are split, fragmented, leaderless, and directionless. Now, when I say leaderless and directionless, what am I talking about? My first example is with the leader of the PNC APNU business in Parliament. This gentleman, Terence Campbell. Now, after this little encounter that the senior minister within office of the president had with the leader of the APNU's PNC business in Parliament, this man ran out of Parliament. Now, I have told you on several occasions, and sorry, my bad, I guess it's because of the night. Good night to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Good night to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good night to the persons in the comment section. Guys, please ensure to share the live, share the live, share the live. Now, as I was saying, I would have said on many occasions on my morning program, Livewire, right? Terence Campbell had tax write-off. People in the comment section call me a liar. There was even an interview a couple of months back where Norman Brown interviewed the Guyanese critic. The Guyanese critic raised to Norman Brown this tax write-off that Terence Campbell got. Norman Brown, somebody please tag Norman Brown. Please in the comment section, somebody please tag Norman. Because I am hoping that Norman was watching the budget debates and saw this here. Right? So could you imagine the embarrassment of Terence Campbell after lying to people across continents, because he lied to people in Guyana and lied to people in the diaspora about never receiving a tax write-off. Let's look and listen again and have a quick reminder.
That I've never had a write-off of tax or a VAT in this country. Never, not once. And so I challenge.
So he says it again in the National Assembly, knowing fully well that he got a write-off. But because the minister insist tax write-off on penalties and interest, like the minister said, he's splitting hairs. So the penalties and interest is still tax, because it's penalties and interest on tax that you don't pay. So all of it is tax that is being collected. Right? So he stands up in the National Assembly in front of everybody and says, the minister talking wrong. Prove your point, minister. So the minister articulates.
The finance minister to withdraw that remark or produce the evidence of a write-off of primary tax in this country.
1 minute later.
Every other person in this country, when they don't pay their taxes, they're subject to some.
Sorry, I want y'all to listen to something. I want y'all to listen to something carefully, right? Terence Campbell is, again, with splitting of the hairs. So when he gets up there, he makes sure that he says a write-off of primary tax. So he's trying to say that he never asked for a write-off of taxes that he had to pay. He asked for a write-off of the penalties and the fines only. Right? So listen carefully to the ending part of Terence Campbell's statement. Primary taxes. So it's confused. He's trying to confuse people.
The evidence of a write-off of primary tax in this country.
1 minute later.
Every other person in this country, when they don't pay their taxes, they're subject to something called penalties and interest. And having failed to pay over his taxes in a timely manner, he accumulated a vast amount of penalties.
Mind you, he doesn't dispute that he didn't pay the taxes on time. And it's a lot of taxes, right? So now the minister here articulates and breaks down into finer details what he's talking about. Listen to the response from Terence Campbell.
Penalties and interest. I want him to stand up and say that he's never asked for a write-off of penalties and interest.
Stand up!
Stand and say that.
The Honorable Minister is correct that I asked for a partial write-off of penalties and interest, a partial write-off of penalties and interest after having paid over $100 million in penalties.
This is the people that want to run Guyana. Huh? These are the people that want to run Guyana. This is how dishonest they are. Outside of the division of the opposition, even the persons leading them, slippery and dishonest. So you can't call yourself government in waiting when you can't even dominate the opposition benches. So this wasn't just a bad week for the APNU. This was structural decline on full display in the National Assembly, right? Now, let's talk a little bit more about this fragmentation in the opposition. A fragmented opposition equals a weak opposition. APNU and WIN cannot even cooperate. Public disputes overshadow portfolios. Could not agree on basic parliamentary arrangements. And the media headlines expose the dysfunction. In the opposition with WIN, APNU, and Forward Movement Guyana /WIN, ego was greater than strategy. So Terence with his ego, Mohammed with his ego, then you got the crossovers to WIN, when they go towards the people who they know they would not get a seat over. If these cannot agree on who shadows which ministry, how are they to manage a $1.3 trillion economy? That's the question we got to ask. Now, WIN is born from an APNU fracture. So there's no ideology. Everything from Win is reactionary. And capitalizing on the PNC's weakness, it's not offering governance strength. That's all they're doing, capitalizing on the PNC's weakness. No kind of offering of governance strength. Now, I want some persons to understand clearly. Win is a symptom, not a solution. Again, I'm saying, product of the PNC collapse, you could label them a protest vessel now, and definitely not a governance platform. Now, look at this here. I've said to you on several occasions, you can tell a person's interest in a topic in relation to their ability to speak on that topic, right? This is one of the Win MPs. Now, if I write a speech, then I tell the Ashbys, if I write a speech and I'm saying to myself, hey, I think this person is wrong in relation to what they did in a certain situation. In my mind, I would have thoughts to justify my angle of thinking that they're wrong. But you could tell when somebody is given a prepared speech, they would have rehearsed that prepared speech, right? And they're unable to pivot or give representation, proper representation of that prepared speech. So look at this here.
Where was the democracy?
I just want
to. So this here is a Win candidate, a member of parliament, speaking to the speaker operating unconstitutionally. That's just not a simple statement to make. The speaker acting unconstitutionally, right? The speaker acting unconstitutionally. So if that is something that she feels, she must have looked at the Constitution to see where he was acting unconstitutionally. But that's not the case. She is just parroting what was given to her to say, right? So when the speaker now says, okay, you're saying unconstitutionally, tell me a little bit about this unconstitutional action. She cannot respond. Look.
We're paralyzed. Where was the democracy?
I just want to caution you. I don't like to interrupt at the beginning of a first-timer speech. But I want to know which article of the Constitution the speaker violated in the election of the leader of the opposition.
She's supposed to jump up right away. Well, Mr. Speaker, Article 627, 34B, Chapter 4C, 9.6, semicolon. Because in preparing the speech, you would have had to think, I got to make sense. My speech got to be coherent, right? So if I'm saying there was a violation of the Constitution, I must be aware of the part of the Constitution that would have been violated. But as we could see, nothing. Nothing.
And which democratic principle I violated? I want to know.
I am moving. Where was the democracy?
Now she continues again. Doesn't answer the question. Just continues like there is nothing. Then goes to the president again. So again, there are standing orders. There are words you can't use, there are things you can't do. Right? These people didn't pay attention to nothing. So they're criticizing the president, using unparliamentary words. Now, here, they had some PPP MPs that were pulled up in that regard, but they were few and far between. And in speech, they may have come out, but in their case, it was repetition, right? So she goes on to try to disrespect the president of the parliament.
When the president appointed 7 members,
and there is a standing order about criticizing the president in this assembly. You could bring it in the form of a...
Still trying to continue, so she ain't got no time with the speaker. She still ain't got no time with the speaker.
Motion.
The leader.
You can bring it in the form of a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw.
So can defend your point. In understand parliamentary process. Now you gotta withdraw. This is what Win want to force on the Guyanese people. This is what Win trick the Guyanese people into as the better option than the PNC. Those who are diehard persons who say, well, you know something, I can't bring myself to support the PPP. So it's best I go with Tacity. This is what they vote for. Now, again, I'm saying, if you are interested, if you are vested, if you care so much about the subject, you should be able to speak on it.
Mr. Speaker, it is very clear that the honorable member, Todd, and I, and the rest of the world has 2 different definitions of democracy.
Indeed. Indeed. You know, I would dispute you there.
Okay, your time is running. I just want to know, what is your definition and how our constitution collides with your definitions?
Right. So, this is another chance for her to explain her point. Right? So, whoever prepared the speech or whichever AI software could have probably explained to the speaker what it means. But remember, the AI don't give you all of that. They just give you the top stuff. You got to know how to go into detail with it.
You go down.
Mr. Speaker, I beg you to continue my debate.
Right? What? You understand? So she can't explain any of the points that she's making. So when the speaker says, all right, hold on. This is the thought that you had. This is a part of your budget debate. Expound on this a little bit. You understand? Help us all in here to understand a little bit. You begging to continue? You want to explain nothing to nobody? Y'all see why in the morning I play the circus music? This is what the government now has to deal with over the next 5 years. Sitting across, this is what I gotta look at and deal with. I say she ugly or nothing, but this is it. This. You begging to continue. You get a chance to share your views, explain, so people could understand. But you can't, because that wasn't formulated by you. So you can't explain in detail what you're talking about. Or was the contradiction with the Constitution that you're talking about?
Mr. Speaker,
No, but I demand the same respect from all sides of the House. So I just want to know,
Mr. Speaker,
your and the international definition I violated.
Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to the definition. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member.
That is exactly what the Attorney General said. You think this is Facebook? They think this is like this here, when nobody is there to challenge you. And even on my programs or my regular morning program, I usually got the comment section running in conscious. Sometimes when you see me look cross, it's the comments I looking at, right? Because I want the challenge. If you are sitting there and listening to me, and you have a different opinion from me in relation to something I'm saying, and you have your facts to back it up, I'm willing to have a discussion with you. But they're accustomed, Azuddin Muhammad is accustomed to just sitting on Facebook, making a set of wild explorations, and nobody is there to challenge him. You remember the live? He ain't looking to answer nobody. Share his life, does it? But unlike them, and what I try to do here, again, I say, when I see you in the comments and you feel like saying something, right, put you on screen. I say, man, look me number. Call and let me discuss it. You understand me? Call and let me discuss it. But that's what you get. That is what we have now. A symptom, not a solution. Where is WIN's economic white paper? Where is their shadow budget? So you're saying this is stupidness. Show me your budget, the amount, how you're disbursing the money across the sectors, the initiatives. Let me look at it. Where is their sectorial depth? Now, contrast what we've seen from the WIN MPs to people like Tandai McAllister during her presentation, where she spoke about maritime audits and IMO standards. Contrast that to people like James Bond, talking about education pipelines and scholarships. You can't run a country on grievance energy. And what you get from WIN and APNU is grievance energy. Now, I just mentioned two people there, Tandai McAllister and James Bond, right? We must discuss the crossover effect. We must discuss the crossover effect. Now, what is the real story? MPs who started in PNC circles moved to the PPP. Professionals who chose the PPPC voluntarily. Smart people who weighed their options and crossed over. These are people who know the inside of the PNC and walked away. This is powerful. I ask you all looking here, why would insiders leave? Why would professionals now join the PPPC? Why is talent flowing in one direction? You see any talent from the PPP flowing in the other direction? You see any, I don't even know if to call it WIN talent. You see any WIN talent? You see any WIN theatrics flowing in that direction? Everything is flowing away. Right? Everything is flowing away. This is political evolution. not betrayal, political evolution. Right? Now, Tanai McAllister, MP, she said clearly in her presentation, she served elsewhere before. She said she realized some political spaces prioritize narrow loyalty over national progress. Right? She also said she chose the PVPC not as a symbolic gesture, but as a partner in progress. That is a political indictment on the PNC culture. When insiders say they left because loyalty mattered more than national progress, that's not propaganda. That is lived experience. Now, MP McAllister also directly addressed Afro-Guyanese representation, to which she said, there's no ceiling on contribution in this administration. The PPPC administration she's talking about. She also said Afro-Guyanese leadership belongs at the highest level. Now, those statements coming from a former PNC personnel dismantles the old APNU PNC racial ownership narrative. The PNC used to claim exclusive moral ownership of Afro-Guyanese politics. Now, Afro-Guyanese MPs are voluntarily choosing the PPP. That's tectonic shift in politics. Now, let's look at James Bond. James Bond is a symbol of PNC erosion. He's not just an MP. He is a symbol. What did James Bond say? He highlighted PNC mentors that he looked up to. But for the first time in his political life, he takes notes around PVP leadership. So around these political leviathans in the PNC, he was comfortable enough just to stand around and listen to what the guy said, and wherever he captured to memory, he captured. No wrong, real political heavyweights. He is encouraged to take notes to ensure that he forget nothing, so that he could continue to better himself, even at that stage, successful attorney and all that. He spoke about his experience of poverty in Mavaruma. He spoke about the scholarship he got under the PVP. He spoke about his relationship with the president and why he chose to serve under President Ali. This is devastating to the APNU. When a man who was nurtured politically by the PNC says he's growing more around the PVP leadership, that tells you where the intellectual gravity is. One of the most important things James Bond spoke of in the National Assembly, and I found it very powerful. The PVP equipped him through education. Those scholarships that were made available to James Bond changed his life. And in his message to the youths, don't worry with the foolish rhetoric. Position yourself. Position yourself. You can't do outside cussing and abusing. You really got nothing to cuss and abuse about. Position yourself. Young people are watching who creates opportunity and who creates outrage. Right? When we decide to look at the development receipts versus the opposition rhetoric, Tandai and James Bond, MPs, did an excellent job. Tandai spoke about the maritime sector. 67% increase in vessels traffic to Guyana since 2020. Modernization of the maritime law. New pilot boats. Rescue coordination center on the cards. 19 audits. 19 audit failures under the APNU sorted. That's policy depth. Contrast that to APNU's report. Drafts not aligned with the current law. No strategic prioritization. Archaic management systems. One side was debating global maritime competence and international audits, and the other side debating Facebook posts. James Bond spoke on infrastructure and education, being somebody from Region 1. And hearing all the things that, oh God, Region 1, woo! 6 secondary schools in Region 1. Wi-Fi access deep in the hinterland. One of the most advanced X-ray machines at Mabaruba Hospital. Education continues to expand and be free for Indigenous people across the country. In the words of James Bond, if you're building 6 schools in Region 1, that's not politics. That's structural transformation. And the opposition, all sections, the budget bad. But schools built, roads done, youth stipend, training program, business grant, cash grant, TVET training, all kind of thing. Now, I want to come back to Minister Ashley Singh. In his final presentation, he spoke to the APNU's base and them walking away from them. Right? Tens of thousands walked away from the PNC. Some went to the PPP, others went to WIN. The PPP was not defeated only, the PNC, APNU, was not defeated only by the PPP. It was abandoned by its own base. James Bond spoke about this. He openly confronted his former colleagues. When your former MPs are publicly saying they grew more under the PPP, your internal decay is not hidden anymore. Now, what is the PPPC doing? What did we see in the National Assembly from the People's Progressive Party? Right? When we look at the members of parliament on the government side, it is a multi-ethnic, multi-generational bench. Young MPs, Indigenous representation, women ministers, technocrats and professionals, former military leadership. while one side is shrinking, the other side is broadening. The PPPC is not surviving, it's expanding. Now, the economic contrast. Debt to GDP at 28.6%. The second lowest in this hemisphere. Debt service down dramatically compared to the 1990s. There has been a huge growth in employment. Oil revenues are governed under the NRF Act. Are we debating policy, or are persons debating personalities? When you listen to the APN News arguments in relation to Budget 2026, recycling of old poverty data from the 2016 to the 2018 period, a lot of them, despite being reminded in the National Assembly that once this report came out in 2024, it states clearly that the data being used is from 2016 to 2018. Under their stewardship, 50-something% of the population was in poverty, and 30-something% was in abject poverty. And they knowingly go into the National Assembly and try to spin that for the persons who will not go to page 40 and read where the data came from. So we have a clear case of selective quoting being done by some of these MPs on the opposition side. So with Gemini or ChatGPT or allegedly Christopher in help, selective quoting of reports. And again, no forward plan. So despite their talk of collapse, the numbers show expansion. Now, we have to ask ourselves, is WIN a protest party or government material? Right? What is WIN's economic blueprint? What is WIN's fiscal strategy? Again, no depth in cabinet or in shadow cabinet operations. How many technocrats have aligned themselves with the WIN shadow cabinet? This is an emotional movement, a reactionary base built on grievance and not governance. And we must ask ourselves, why did the PNC base, walk away? Many diehard PNC voters did not cross to the PNC, to the PPP, but they refused to vote for APNU. They chose abstention over, or I should say WIN. Abstention, sorry. Oh, Jesus. Abstention or WIN. That is not PPP weakness. That's PNC erosion. If your base abandons you, who do you blame? Now, there was clear political maturity. It was clear. It was a contest of political maturity versus political theatrics. On the PPP side, policy heavy, structured debates, institutional focus. On the opposition side, personal attacks, performance politics, and social media theatrics. Guyana is moving away from emotional politics to performance politics. Now, when I say social media theatrics and emotional politics. I'm speaking to people like Dexter Todd, who in this country knew of a Dexter Todd before the Adriana Young situation. Who? Not a soul. Adriana Young was the platform that Dexter Todd used to launch his political career. I called a prominent attorney that I knew because we heard this term being thrown around, a forensic lawyer. Right? The guy said there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a forensic lawyer. And after so much time, the forensic lawyer has not been able to deliver any justice, any satisfaction, anything to the family of Adriana Young. Nothing at all he was able to deliver. Now that he has failed in his attempt, because he was supposed to be the person to solve everything and bring everything to justice and carry the people overseas, and the overseas are top secret and make everything better. When last you hear Dexter Todd hold a press conference to give an update on the Adriana Young situation as the lawyer? I don't know if he's the lawyer still. But when last you hear anything from Dexter Todd about that? When them people get locked up with the unrest, how much of them, when Dexter Todd say, oh, people were just standing on the road and they were arrested, how much people he get out? All of those things were stuff to put him in the spotlight. So people can say, oh gosh, who's this man, Dexter Todd? He's such a caring man. He take on these people's case. Oh, he running for, we should support it. Just to get into the eyes of persons and win the sympathy. Dexter Todd brought nothing new to the Adriana Young case. No new revelation, nobody charged, nothing. And after being useless to the Young family, because he brought no closure, he brought no justice. So Dexter Todd could be deemed as useless to the Young family. After being useless, carrying them up and down, have the people got a daughter, not rested in peace for long, up and down the place. We didn't hear anything back. But he comes to the National Assembly. Again, where all the cameras are pointing, where the nation's focus is, to regain relevance. To regain relevance by holding up a cutout to Adriana Young, asking for justice for Adriana Young. You took up the charge, Dexter Todd. You took up the charge to get justice for Adriana Young. You said you took over it. You make the family kick out Darren Wade. You took over. You were the person who took the mantle to say, I will seek justice for Adriana Young. After the government put significant effort, now you're throwing it back on the government. Where is the justice agent? You said you were going to get it. You said you were going to get it. You took over. And what we got from you? Not one new revelation. Not one thing. All we got is an interview with you and Travis Chase overseas. And not one new revelation in relation to the Adriana Young case. Nothing in relation to sexual assault. Nothing. Everything that the pathologist that the government came and said and did was concord with by the lady all went to in Georgia or wherever it was. So it becomes a points game again. So instead of a learned man like, and Dexter Todd bright, you know, former police, big torn attorney, able to practice in Belize and all over the place. Dexter Todd could have perused the budget and made worthy contributions. Yet Dexter Todd chose to use Adriana Young again to catapult his political career. Dexter Todd should be shamed to talk about Walter Rodney. And that's why I say sometimes, how could you support this bunch of people? One of the most important things in life is knowing when to shut up, when to say, when not to say. And even more importantly, what to say and what not to say. Could you imagine Dexter Todd talking about Walter Rodney and it's not the PNC and the PNC with David Hines sitting in the PNC MP benches? Y'all could believe this? And that goes to show you that they ain't even got coordination within themselves to say, well, oh, this is me speech. Let everybody look at everybody's speech so we ain't contradicting each other and making each other look stupid. Dexter Todd talking about WPA, and look what surfaced online. Look what surfaced online.
Mr. Burnham, in a public speech, said that WPA should make the wills, and of course, 3 members of the WPA were murdered during that period. We took the break.
This is David Hines in his young David Hines. Let me make this thing bigger, man. Let me make me small and make this big. This is young David Hines. This is young David Hines doing an interview with Dr. Rupert Roopnarine. The upper echelons of the WPA, they knew everything that was going on in that time. So when the Prime Minister spoke, he didn't speak, he spoke. He knew what he was talking about. Because people like Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Military Service Medal, MP, was around in those days. He was a young man just like David Hines. So it's not hearsay. He's telling you of what he see and know about the time. This is David Hines in this jacket and Rupert Roopnarine. Listen to what they are discussing. Nobody showed Dexter Todd this interview. Nobody showed Dexter Todd this interview. Dexter Todd had a chance to sit down with his WPA colleague MP and discuss, and that's to show you the lack of preparation. Could you imagine that Dexter Todd was planning to say at the podium, don't call up PNC name anymore to Walter Rodney, and in discuss that with David Hines so that, he could probably rephrase or revamp or find something else to say that thing and make you look like an idiot? Such a bright man like Dexter Todd. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall looking at David Hines when Dexter Todd was making the presentation. Saying these things. Could you imagine? Listen again. Yeah, listen.
The break, I mentioned that Mr. Burnham, in a public speech, said that WPA should make the wills, and of course, 3 members of the WPA were murdered during that period.
3 members. 3, not even 1 or 2, 3. When Burnham said, yeah, make a will, 3 of them get it. Hopefully they made their wills. So when the Prime Minister said what he said, he was speaking from a very informed point of view. The Prime Minister wasn't doing guesswork. Prime Minister Mark Phillips is not a Asardine Mohammed or a Natasha St. Louis or a Don Hastings or a Tabitha Sarabu Haley. He wasn't doing guesswork. So for Dexter to bring up such a foolish point was only to his detriment. Then Dexter goes on to talk about James getting beaten to submission. Listen, I have not been in the PNC, right? My aunt was their GCOM commissioner. I have despised the PNC for how they have treated my family for years. And for some reason, there was an undying loyalty to that grouping. Never supported the PNC. Ain't go to a rally, ain't give a donation, ain't went to a meeting, ain't put up a flyer, nothing. Come bring myself to Dexter Todd. And like I said, I was never a part of that party. Dexter Todd can't hold a candle to the service that James Bond gave to the PNC. James Bond was instrumental in the 2015 upset that took place because he encouraged the youth vote. Right? James Bond didn't make parliament, nothing. Dash in the car now. Dexter Todd in tech pellets in the back for the PNC. So for him to actually talk about sacrifices that are political sacrifices, because again, James Bond at the time was out there on some PNC foolishness on behalf of the party. You understand? So Dexter Todd didn't give nothing in the way, shape, or form of James Bond. I put my head on a block that Dexter Todd didn't even raise as much funds for the PNC as James Bond. And look at the difference in treatment. So Dexter, is the treatment that James get make he run not beaten down? He was being beat down over there because he was working on their behalf, y'all behalf. And there was no reward in sight, no gratitude, no thanks, no nothing. And the man said, give up. You're going to vex with him for that? You going to vex with him for that? Now, I want y'all to look at this here. Stephen Jacobs is a minister, a junior minister, a minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Right? Stephen Jacobs is a first-time member of parliament. Stephen Jacobs is not the minister within the AG office, junior minister of foreign affairs, nothing like that. The junior minister of culture, youth, and sport. Stephen Jacobs wasn't a presidential candidate. Stephen Jacobs wasn't a prime ministerial candidate. Stephen Jacobs is a businessman. He sit on the mayor and city council for a little bit, and he used to play cricket. Right? He used to play cricket. Now he in politics, he become the minister within the Ministry of Sport, Culture, Youth, and Sport. When you look at the presentation here of Stephen Jacobs, right? When you look at the presentation of Stephen Jacobs, again, not a seasoned politician, just like everybody else, and you could say that Azruddin Mohammed is an even more established businessman than Stephen Jacobs. Right? He been around the block more. He deal with probably more bigger clients and partners and them kind of thing than Stephen Jacobs. Yet, Stephen Jacobs is able to stand at the podium, scriptless, without notes, represent his ministry and represent the administration that put he there to represent them. He could have speak on the track record. He could have debunked the foolishness that the MPs before him was saying, and he could speak to the future developments under the government that he is representing, all without script. So I am saying, as I said to you before, when somebody is genuinely interested in something, when somebody wants to make a change, when somebody wants to see betterment in people's lives, they're able to speak on it. You cared less. Right? So we're looking at Stephen Jacobs here. We're hearing, we know what we said. We're looking at Stephen Jacobs here. And you look at his presentation. He came down the step, he had nothing in his hand. He ain't reading nothing, he presented. He presented. Now, when you contrast what you see Stephen Jacobs here doing, right? To this. Somebody who would have been the
like
president.
the dangerous, dilapidated Chinawin nursery and primary schools.
We want your sharpness. But I'm telling you, look at the presentation. Look at the presentation. Big businessman. Big time gold smuggler alleged by the US. And unless he trying to spread little propaganda or doing little Facebook, I think that's the only time he could look up and talk to people face to face. He's so care about the poor people of Guyana that he can't address the people of Guyana like a Stephen Jacobs. Right? Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Look at the Stephen Jacobs posture. Look at Stephen Jacobs' posture. Speaking from the top of his head, first-time member of parliament, maiden speech. And this fool, fugitive offender opposition leader, right? Read into hell and go. He was supposed to be the savior of Guyana when he turned president. Right? He's supposed to be the savior. But you look at this young MP, Afro-Guyanese MP, and then you look at this fugitive offender, and you see the vast difference in presentation. Now tell me, when you see what the PBP has offered, when you see what WIN has offered, when you see what APNU has offered, could you grudge the Guyanese people in voting the way they voted to increase the amount of seats that the PPP had so that they could continue furthering their development agenda uninterrupted? Like a friend of mine on Facebook said, with Mohammed here now, Abi and ChatGPT, we gonna make it. But you see with the ChatGPT thing, you gotta know how to pivot, because somebody might say something before you that debunk completely what you saying in your presentation. Or like when the speaker decides to challenge you on something you said, you're unable to explain yourself. And then how am I making no sense? Anand Jagdu, right? How am I making no sense? My point is Anand, and Anand, there's a number at the bottom of the screen. You can call now and share with me how I'm making no sense. I'm saying that Stephen Jacobs doesn't hold, he's a minister of government, but it's not one of those level ministries, like let's say, not high level. It's not one of those like the AG ministry or finance or something. It's called youth and sport. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the presidential candidate of the party you may be supporting, Anand, couldn't even represent himself in the same way. And he was competing for a much higher office than Stephen Jacobs. So if Stephen Jacobs, as not a junior minister of finance, as not a junior minister of attorney, the Attorney General Chambers and Legal Affairs, right? As the minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Look at his representation. Look at the representation made by people like Suresh Singh. Look at MP Lakshman, I think is her name. Look at the representation made. And I'm not calling the heavy hitters, like the AG and Minister Teixeira, Minister Prague, Minister Rodriguez, Minister Indar, who share portion licks. Look at the contribution of the PNC crossovers to the PPP versus the PNC representation by APNU in Parliament. And I dare you to challenge me. We mean it to make no sense. Mohammed showed us that he can read, and that is great. But in terms of ideas, policies, and things like that, he was seriously lacking. That's my point that I'm making, Anand Jagdeo. So again, Anand, join us. The numbers are at the bottom of the screen, 671-6228. You can't see the number. Wait. Look. Let's find all kind of excuse. You can't see the number, but what's the difference if somebody reads from a script or recite off the top of the head? Now you see what's talk about. Now Anand Anand watching the debate and he ain't hear the standing order that the MPs getting up on in relation to the rule about reading a script. So Anand, what is wrong with it, or what the difference is that it's against the rules in the budget debate or in the debating setting. It's not something the speaker make up or something the PVV make up. It's a standing order in the National Assembly. You're not allowed to read unless you're referencing notes or something for a reminder, little jottings or reminder, Anand. So that is the difference. It's against the rules. And this is what you get with people like Anand. And this is something Mohammed won't do. So let me say, I was Anand in Mohammed comment section. Mohammed people will block me off the line. Because I might be asking Mohammed to justify what he's saying. Anand, the number is 671-6228. So you don't even have to see the number. I just tell it to you. Call us and make your point. You mightn't be able to type it. You might be able to speak it. Call us and make your point. And the difference is, Anand, between a script and being able to recite, as you put it, it shows your knowledge on the topic. It shows your interest in the topic. It shows that you're just not repeating and babbling a script. So that it shows you have knowledge of what you're talking about. So that is the difference, brother. And this is the difference between me and Azruddin Mohammed. Politicians and speakers around. It's the wrong thing I put up. This is Anand comment. Sorry. The thing moving. So every time I click on Anand, somebody commented, politicians and speakers around the world use teleprompters. What? For budget debates? Anand, give us an example. Anand said, got text the number. Anand, I'm saying it again. Listen, imagine Anand can't listen to the number that I say to he. I got texted to he. Somebody please put the number in the comment section. Please, whichever Facebook account or YouTube you're looking at, please put the number in the comment section for Anand. 671-6228, Anand. I don't know how more clear I need to be. It scroll on the bottom of the screen, 671-6228. These guys for real. And even politicians and speakers around the world who are using these teleprompters, that has nothing to do with us, brother. That had nothing to do with us. It's against the rules in our parliament. It's against the rules in our parliament. Well, And everybody put the numbers in the comment section. You call. But I done with you, brother. I done with you. You call. Right? You call.
Thing. My honorable friend, Dr. Todd, he wants to politicize Adriana Young's death.
Even James Bond see it. Even James Bond saw it. Shameless, Dexter Todd. Shameless. Look. Yes. Look, you're making joke with some of these win people. Them man is arguing strong from a point to ignorance. Strong on a point to ignorance. Now, Minister Manik Chan also had an excellent performance at the budget debates. And Minister Manik Chan, during her presentation, gave some hard truths. Hard. And even when I was listening to her, I was like, oh my God. Look. There's how the PNC people treat James Bond. I am sure this lady's contribution is even less than Dexter Todd's towards the PNC. And she talking about James Bond is who. That's the kind of respect James Bond and Tandai McAllister and Jermaine Figueroa and Daniel Siram and the man who talk out how did they really rig the elections, the former councillor, I can't remember his name. That's the kind of respect they used to get from the PNC people them. Right? It's crazy. So as back to Minister Manik Chan. So Minister Manik Chan gave some hard truths. And you know, sometimes I just wonder, why? Oh, Minister. Oh. This is the last point addressing with Anna. So according to you and the dummies on here, the format of presentation is more important than the message. Are you people for real? Anand, if the message came from the person who was delivering it, he would have been able to deliver it in the correct format that the parliament requires. Right? This is not no cake shop operation. This is not a point for you to have stage fright. You standing on the platform during the elections talking in front of thousands of people. You can't represent yourself in front of the National Assembly, 65 on parliamentary staff and military staff. That you got to read an entire script. So the importance of the message was diluted because the person who delivering the message didn't even seem like they had an interest in the message to actually learn the message so that they could deliver it to the people who listening with confidence and surety. They had to walk with an entire script, and not even just talking points. An entire script. Imagine you got to read. Mr. Speaker, it gives me great. You have to read your introduction. You got to read your name of the script. Mr. Speaker, I stand here as opposition. Thank you for the beginning, everything, nothing you will memorize. Nothing. Who you think this is? High school debate? This is the highest level. People running the country. The people who got to look over the people who run in the country. You think there's some debate movie? This is high stakes. You got to come prepared to play. And based on all the corruption that you've been speaking about, you're supposed to be able to talk. So why should he get a pass as the presidential candidate, the alleged presidential candidate? Anyway, Anan, you enjoy the rest of the show. I done with you. Let's go back to Minister Manichan. Right? So this was one of the most hard-hitting moments of budget 2026. Listen to this, to these hard truths Minister Manichan delivered.
He's going to drag some people with him. 3 at the front were never going to get seats under North leadership.
And that's somebody dodging indictment in the US decide to drag along a bunch of Guyanese with him. Mess up their life, the bank account, they ain't got the insurance, they can't, some of them lose the visa, they can't travel. You understand? Decide to drag them along. The 3 Minister Manichan talking about, Tabitha, Don, and Natasha. I've told y'all before, Don Hastings was one of the most uninspiring members of parliament that they ever had. Natasha, very forgettable. The only claim to fame that Tabitha had, let me see if he's calling here and ain't getting through. The only claim to fame Tabitha had, was when Tabitha, as Minister of Public Service, knock off a good set of public servants, and Joseph Harmon had to say hello, get yourself, bring them people back to work. So the 3 of them brought nothing to the table to the PNC. So they knew that they were out the door. Nothing had no place for them. And you could see why. Imagine Natasha ain't even understand or not at a point being in parliament so long that she herself, this is a season, but she got more seasoning than Azadine, more seasoning than Stephen Jacobs, more than Suri Singh, more than Minister Zulfikar Ali, more than a lot of the new MPs that come into the system now. And she herself can present a coherent debate presentation without reading to hell and go. Experienced people. So Aubrey Norton had no use for the 3 of them. Imagine Aubrey kick David daughter and David come and take his daughter seat. Y'all realize Aubrey kick David daughter and David go and cozy up with the people who kick out his daughter. Continue, Miss.
The PNC, they disaffected over here. One couldn't get back his job at Gaisuko because he failed.
Gaisuko, man. Pandey. Y'all remember being at the press conference? When he talking about this and Gaisuko failed. So I said, man, what organization you manage the size? Gaisuko. Pandey was a part of the problem at Gaisuko. The people asking for plant up the field, he can't do it. The people asking for mechanize, he can't do it. And Pandey know everything under the sun about Gaisuko. With Pandey at Gaisuko supposed to be at the top of everything. The most profitable institution this country got. Look how these boys dishonest. Look, I tried to find you on both WhatsApp and Messenger. No luck. Let me find you. Let me find you, man. I can message you. I ain't even know where we watching from. These people so dishonest, it's not even funny. Let me see. Let me see. This dishonesty, this was freak me out to them, you know. I ain't even know where we watching from. These people so dishonest, it's not even funny. Oh, man. Let me see. I don't know. Champ, what's the name of the page you watching from? Live find you and message you. Mukesh Fish do that. Good night to you, brother. Let me find you and message you. These people so dishonest, it's not even funny. I got 2 accounts with my name, just like how you're seeing it here. I have no WhatsApp message from this banner. Not one. Praise the last person that messaged me for the night. You understand? Praise the last person. You, and that's what this mislead you. So he can message her like if, oh, I block you or something, he can't get on to me. He can't get to make a point. He's being silenced. But that's what they say. Claim victimization with everything. Play victimization with everything. Not a message yet. I got the phone here. Not a message, not a call. None. Right? So Minister Manichan went to the guy Suko, man, everything under the sun. He knew about Guy Suko. But whilst he was at Guy Suko, couldn't see Guy Suko into profitability. He got a problem with everybody. Nobody listening to him. Nobody want to hear nothing he got said. And then I heard an MP spoke to, oh, he was competent, and then he gets stupid. The PPP give you a chance. The people at Guy Suko, if he wants this, the PPP hire you. You see, oh, you're certified in agriculture, come. Guy Suko is a problem. Fix the problem. After going over and over and his inability to fix it, the cut ties we wanted them to hold on to for all his friends, family, and favorite. That they pay him Panday doing bear strippings in the place and they knocking you off. You see why I just said damned if you do, damned if you don't? Panday improfarm, they get rid of you is a problem. Minister Manichan, he put Canada. He put Canada. Look, y'all making joke with these people. Brother, Anand, when I say where you're watching from, I mean which Facebook account? Comrade Cordell Jones, Livewire TV, Livewire News, News Desk, YouTube. We live on everything. Which one you looking for we from? So we could go find your comment and message you directly or call you. Facebook Messenger directly. Because the phone lines open, we will be willing to hear from people like you. If you have a different, we want to hear what you think about the debate. You understand? So please, let us know the name of the page or the account that you're watching from. I gotta go into detail like Minister Ashley said. You watching from Canada. Like they can help me find you. I can find you in Canada. Jesus. Wow. Anyway. Right? Panday. Tell me the host Guy Suko story. Tell me we the one we hear. And Cordell Jones. Okay, good. Thank you, sir. Please look out for the WhatsApp call, you know. Okay. I'm glad you tell me. Let's hear from Anand Jagdio. Hold on. Anand Jagdio, good. Anand, I can't call you. This accounting on my phone. So I'm sending the number. Look, let me put it on screen. For you here, it's bluff again. I'm sending the number to Anand Jagdeo. Hold on. Share screen. Let's just sit here. Anand Jagdeo. Babs. Good. He ain't finding me on Facebook. I don't know if I call him here, if the mic gonna pick up. But after sending the number, I'll try to call directly on Facebook here and see. No, but I'm using the mic for the streaming software. Anyway, so this is look. Y'all look. Right? Look. This is me sending the number to Anand. Right? Anand, please call straight or WhatsApp. Right? So y'all see? Oh, look, you read the message, it come down. So let me wait. Let me see if we hear from Anand. Let me see if we hear from Anand today. You understand? Anand get the number. Let me take off this chat off the screen. Right? You see the little circle come at the bottom there? That means Anand read the message. He read them that day. He read the message. So hopefully we can hear from Anand very soon, very shortly. Right? Very soon, very shortly. Well, they're gonna take a while. So we waiting. We waiting. But we're gonna continue in the meantime. Right? So back to Minister Manik Chan. Whilst we wait, the number was sent to Anand. Jeez. I don't think I'm gonna be able to call Anand here. Let me see. I can try. Tell me if you're hearing the phone ringing. Rose, sometimes he's got sweet. I don't know if y'all hearing the phone. Yes, Anand, glad to get on to you. Hearing me? Great. Let me just make sure my viewers hearing you. Guys, just let me know if y'all hearing Anand. Okay, no, wait. I think I gotta share the call screen, and that's gonna allow the audio to come through. 1 second, Anand. Right, Bob. Okay, good. Guys, just let me know if you're hearing Anand in the comment section. Anand, just say something there for me to make sure they're hearing you.
Hello, everyone.
You just say hello. Y'all hearing Anand? Quickly, let me know. Somebody's still saying no. Anand, please. Yes. Okay, somebody say yes. They're hearing you, Anand. Great. Go ahead. We're listening to you.
Okay, so again, back to what I said. So apparently for you guys, the format of the presentation, whether you read from a script or you recite it off the top of your head, it's more important than the actual message, right? And then you said that it's against the standing orders, and someone I asked the question, is that in the Constitution of Guyana? I'm 60 years old. Okay, I've been following politics around the world ever since I was at the age of 7, when Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State of the most terrorist nation on the earth, the US. Okay? And I have never ever heard that in Parliament or the Legislative Assembly in Canada, I've watched the Legislative Assembly in Canada, and they heckle and quarrel just like in Guyana. But guess what? There is no standing order that says that a member of Parliament cannot read from a script. There is nothing that says that a member of Parliament cannot utter. Be so afraid of that word because they know that they will be called out on it. Because they are, look, let me tell you something.
Here's what.
Yes.
You didn't
Go
come
ahead.
on this just to rant and continue. You
Okay.
make some points.
All right. Okay.
Be able
Yeah.
to rebut those points.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So,
Yeah. Let's go.
saying that you have done explicit research to know.
No, I didn't. I never said that. When did you hear that?
Anan, I'm asking a question. Are you saying to us that you did research in
No, I
relation?
never said. I never used the word research. Don't try to put words in my mouth, okay?
You can speak. And
I said I have been following politics around the world ever since I was at the age of 7, and Kissinger was the Secretary of State.
I'm making. I couldn't give two hoots about Kissinger because I am talking.
I am telling you.
If you have not done research to explicitly find out if the Canadian Parliament or the UK Parliament or whatever they call it in the US has standing orders to that effect, you cannot speak on that, sir.
Oh, really? Well, I'm telling you, I have watched the proceedings, and I have watched the proceedings, and members, shut the fuck up.
This is not
shut the fuck up. You're a moron.
That's the ignorance with them. That's the ignorance with the Canadian, and he hangs up the phone. So Anand Jagdeo from Canada has done no research and is speaking on a point with authority. There is no such rule in Canada. There's no, I see nothing of the sort in any other parliament around the world. And Anand ain't went and checked nothing of the sort. So Anand just talking off the top of his head. He doing better than Azruddin Mohammed. He is doing better than Azruddin Mohammed. But the thing between Anand and Azruddin, both of them talking stupidness, only one reading and one talking you off the top of your head. You understand? So Anand ain't do no research to verify what we talking about. And two, I am wondering and want to ask Anand, and look how Anand descended to cuss out. Look how Anand descended to cuss out when we call out Anand on facts. Anand stating facts that he can't back up with nothing. So just like when Anand didn't even go and do research so that he could talk from an informed point of view. You understand? Anand lose it. I got to ask Anand, he said he was 60 years old. What were you doing for 60 years? What kind of work you did? What, your career, like the piece of time that you were involved in something consistent and steady for 5 to 10 years or so. What was your major career? I was going to ask Anand, if you did this job, let's say he did carpentry for 10 years, and you're deciding that you're going to a carpentry forum. You care so much about carpentry, you're so skilled. You're, I can't say philanthropist because humanitarian thing, Muhammad said up. But Muhammad claimed that he's so interested in the persons, he's so interested in the development of the people and the plight of the poor people and this and that. It's just like if Anand was a carpenter and he's interested in good carpentry and smooth corners and sharp edges and lacquer even and all this other stuff. And you say, Anand, go to the Carpentry Forum of 2026 and represent carpentry. You trying to tell me, Anand, you got good at with a prepared script? Something you care about so much, something you interested in so much, something that you claim to take your own personal money and put into. I've helped all these people. I did all these houses. You're a joker, Anand. You're a joker. And you didn't have to say you didn't do research. Based on how you talking, people know you didn't do no research. Based on when you talking, people didn't know you don't do no research. Anyway, I'm glad I got to talk to Anand a little bit. I don't say you Alan, back to Minister. Back to Minister. Who's this here now? Let me see. Caller, good evening.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Just a second, guys. Just let me know if you're hearing the caller there. Matter of fact, let me just put up the phone. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good night. Don't worry, the fools will cost you. There's foolish people, man. You can't listen to certain people. They don't feel like they're educated. And when you do check them, they're full of stones and that.
Man.
But I'm sorry to say that he's not a dunce, he's a blonde. He got no brains.
When you talked about the budget presentation, though, since I get you here.
I listened to Ashley Singh, and I listened to the attorney of law,
Anu Nandalal.
Yes. Was classic, man. Nobody can stop. And let me tell you something. They make nobody fool. Nobody can stop the PPP. No matter how much this win and go wrong and go wrong. Let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. Let me be fair to you. I mean, you don't know me. You never see me or anything. I want to give a story here, and this is true quite dark in it. I want like, but nobody says tonight. You got a big person who I wouldn't call him name, who was changing money, big people, but he passed away. But me and he become good friend. There was big dealers and that money thing. And she tell me that Azardine does do a lot of good. That time, no problem wasn't come out about Azardine. I said, Auntie, I don't see nothing wrong with every man do good, but the thing is it. Listen to me very carefully. Things will happen one day with this guy, and things will come out. And within 3 months, nothing happened for truth. You know, she came back for me from America. She lives in America now. And she says, hey, man, you know the thing of truth we talk about this buy. I say, Auntie, this buy is a cheaper workload. When you see man got them kind of well, them that don't trust them. There's not easy people to deal with. The talk of people like dog, and treat people like dog. Don't get tired with them. They only look nice. They only look nice. Look the things that the father used, the word that the father used. You know, it looks so bad. We are a human being. We all belong to one creator in this world. And they don't understand that.
Right.
You can't you can't treat people, because let me be honest with you, my mistress is an African woman and she passed away. Right. And I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm gonna tell you, that's not the way to treat people. Right. And the budget presentation was excellent with Ashley Singh and I like how the Ananalal give Win Idal good. He's nobody. I mean, be honest with you. He's nobody. I'm uneducated, you know. But he can't smart people like me. Too wise to he.
Right.
Too wise. I use logic and common sense. He's trying to protect himself. Using the African and the Indian people for protect himself.
Right.
He going to fool all this one people. Now your father did so much good. Your father did so much thing for how much years, towards something here, without speaking whatever good you do for people. And you speaking out everything what you do for people. You don't see you're the lunatic, you're fools. You're a fool. You don't talk. He talking about Irfan Ali, about Islam. Islam teach you if you give, don't talk. Shut your mouth.
Right.
Islam teach you that. And you speaking it, even in parliament, you're talking stupidness.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
You're only talking about Muslim. He's a no Muslim. He said he's sheep and workload, I tell you. I just want not eating them. You understand? And the people that when he got behind he is this is a set of fools, so a set of PNC people them. I don't care who you might be. I am happy that everybody can come and live as nice and live as one. And that's what I want in life. For all of us as human beings.
Yeah.
That's how I think. I don't want to see racism in this world. I just want to see human beings live happy. And I can't see it because the reason why? Because our politicians are too messed up. They're too messed up. And our president is doing an excellent job, and the whole cabinet. And I hope they keep it up. Go wrong and look out for people. I understand the government put things in place. They put police in place to do the right thing. Some of them do the wrong thing.
Right.
They put government public servants to do the right thing, but some of them do the wrong thing, and the government get it blamed.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
This happened. I see Mohammed went to somebody about 3 hours back or 4 hours. An old lady dies. So you notice it, you see it?
No,
I was watching it.
No.
Yeah. And he says so and he just stated so another 90-something years. I can't remember she is. Just how I was watching it, then I see a program. And he says he's so sorry. Everybody's sorry. That is there. You have to sorry for everybody. But there's no place in this world anybody can tell me There's on-time death. There's not like on-time death. We don't have that when our date expire. We have to leave the world. We have to leave the world. I lose my wife in 5 months now, you know, but I accept it. That is life. Me time coming, I don't know when. I don't know when. So this foolishness, what he want to say, oh, government to put things in place, this, everything about government. So he go just now, this sympathy, where they give back here, find life and give them people is what it. Yeah, you don't know. He don't even know when the date will reach any time get expired. None of them know that. It's a foolish.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. A lot of people work hard, do the great things, and only when he move for that cash grant and crash grant. I can't do he give all this money and not no bill in this country. I will eat grass. Because let me tell you, if you can't do he and the cabinet and PNC cabinet, if they give you all this money, the man who pick garbage, stop pick garbage, do garbage left in the yard. Because nobody walking.
Everybody, according to Natasha, everybody can drive a Lamborghini like she boss.
Yeah, but tell you, this is common sense. Let me be fair. If a government got to give you $100,000 a month, who do you ask to walk through? Me not got time to walk with you no more. What me go walk with you for?
Yeah.
Me not pick up garbage. What me go pick up garbage for? Me not got time to pick up garbage anymore. I get $100,000 a month when you ask me want to garbage and pick up garbage. You pick your own garbage. These people are foolish. He only got there for pampers at himself and make himself like on food. People laughing at you. I watch all the comments. People just laughing at you. We president doing a good job, and I want to congratulate you. I just watch your program. I used to watch critics, but critics have not seen him anymore.
Yeah, he taking a little break.
Yeah, keep the good work. And I know that the government is not 100%. He's trying best, but people are feeling him. Some of the people are feeling him. Yeah. We understand that. We are human. And even we as human, we are feeling the Creator. The Creator sent us in the face of the earth for live with happiness and love and respect, and we don't live with that. So we even disrespect the Creator. I can't do it. So who's here finally that people must talk bad about our president? You got to find that. Yeah. And I don't know which religion you belongs to. I don't know if a Christian or what, but prophecy are fulfilling. We cannot change bad people in this world. Yeah. We have people who think in a positive way and people who think in a negative way. We can't change that.
I agree with you. Thank you for sharing with me, brother.
Yeah, you take care and have a good night, sir.
Thank you. So, thanks to that caller for calling and share his views. A reminding persons, you could call the numbers on your screen. I don't usually take calls in the morning, but I want to hear what people think about the budget, the presentations, and that kind of thing. And I'm thankful that Abdul Hamid would have went a little further than Anand Jagdeo, right? And Abdul Hamid has sent us something to look at. Abdul actually did some research, right? So this is what Abdul found online. So let's read it. And mind you, I'm saying to persons, what stands in other jurisdictions and their parliaments has nothing to do with us. If we have rules, we have rules. But let's hear about the Canadian Parliament that Anand Jagdeo didn't take the time to go and check on, right? So Anand couldn't speak from a position of power to say, well, yes, we don't have that. So the Canadian House of Commons no. So Anand checked to see if there is anything against reading scripts or whatnot. No, there is no specific standing order in the Canadian House of Commons that formally prohibits parliamentarians from reading a script. It goes on to say, while it is not formally banned, the tradition of not reading speeches is a well-established practice. And they're talking about the Canadian House of Commons, you know. And they're telling us now where this tradition and this well-established practice is derived from. So while it is not formally banned, Anand Jagdeo, the tradition of not reading speeches is a well-established practice derived from the British parliamentary tradition aimed at ensuring the cut and thrust of the debate. Not all emotions everywhere and this and that, and you're jumping all over the place. Right? Here are the key details regarding reading speeches in the Canadian Federal Parliament. Established practice versus rules. Although not in the standing orders, reading written speeches was historically frowned upon and discouraged by speakers. A 1886 resolution condemned the growing practice of reading prepared essays, arguing it was destructive to debates. Anand Jagdeo. Right? Exception to the rule, Anand Jagdeo. In 1956, Speaker, whoever this B word is, I can't be doing. I don't know. The speaker in 1956 summarized and accepted practice, allowing the reading of under specific circumstances. Anyway, it continues on the there. But I just wanted to put this on the screen to help educate Mr. Jagdeo, Anand Jagdeo, before they think it's Bar Jagdeo, because even Bar Jagdeo wouldn't stoop to this level of stupidity without doing the research. Right, Anand? So I wanted to put that on screen for you so that you can see. But anyway, back to Minister Manik Chan. So Minister Manik Chan went into detail about Pandey and how Pandey and Gaisuku change ways. And she continued to share with us the makeup of the Win Party. A bunch of disgruntled, grievance-driven individuals. And when you compare that to what you saw from the PPP MPs, it's a far cry. Chalk to cheese.
There. One treated very poorly by a technician. Good girl. Dedicated servant. Whose father served the People's Progressive Party. It should never have happened to her. She's there now. But had this affected somebody else who was hurt? My brother, Dr. Ryan. Hurt. But couldn't come. But couldn't find himself, still couldn't find himself with you, the PNC. That should be your concern. So he looked for another home. But I know that as soon as this disintegrates, which is just months off, you coming back home, and we will welcome you back home, sir. We will welcome.
See, she spoke about Dr. Ryan Richards. Ryan Richards vexed over something that he didn't even. Look, listen, only in true PNC and Win form can you be debunked, right? Mind you, he said he didn't do the research. Can you be debunked and you still wrong and strong? Instead of me by sitting and watching the car and be quiet and learn something. Ah, man. back to me.
Come you back home. But this is a collection of persons who are disaffected, without direction, without leadership, owned by a person who is soon going to be departing your shores. Soon.
Listen, Budget 2026 debates showed the Guyanese that they can have confidence in this. Wait. This is one point I absolutely agree with Anand with. There's nothing the Guyanese people could learn from WIN or the APNU or you, Annan. Pack of fools, right? The fugitive offender, opposition leader, and team, the fools, as you put it. No one can learn anything. Anyway, as I was saying, based on what we would have seen from budget debates 2026, persons can rest assured that the future of Guyana is bright and secure, and the mandate that they would have issued to the Irfan Ali-led administration for its second term will be fulfilled. The sad part about it, what was also seen at the budget 2026 debates, is what we can expect for the next 5 years from the APNU We Invested Nationhood collaboration. Chaos, disorganization, and whatever else comes with that. Again, when the extradition process has seen its way all the way through, and I'm telling you guys, it will go to the CCJ. How? Wait. Imagine there isn't a single PPP minister, president, a member of parliament indicted by the US for stealing and lying about the price of vehicles and gold declarations. And they come with this. Anyway, in closing, Mr. Speaker, in closing, we have to look at the big picture. And Guyana right now is in a realignment era. APNU is no longer the dominant opposition force. WIN is not yet structurally credible. We see the PPPC is consolidating power and attracting crossover legitimacy. The future political battle is not the PPP versus the APNU. It's the PPP versus fragmentation. Politics is about momentum. Right now, momentum is not on the opposition benches. And as I said earlier, Guyanese voters are looking to see who looks like government and who looks like a grievance movement. APNU has 12 seats. WIN is built on PNC discontent. The PPPC is expanding across race, region, and generation. Young people are choosing opportunity over rhetoric. The question is no longer whether the APNU can beat the PPP. The question is whether the APU can even rebuild itself. Right? And oh, one of the most bold-faced things, how could I forget? Azzuddin Mohammed Anand Jagdeo stood in the National Assembly. If this was the most dishonest part, Azzuddin Mohammed, misleading part of The most misleading part of Azuddin Mohammed presentation, Azuddin Mohammed said or asked if he owe 191 billion, why GRA dropped the case against him? As if Azuddin Mohammed doesn't know the extradition treaty speaks to the person having no other legal matter before the courts so that they could proceed with the extradition. That was the only reason GRA dropped that $191 billion case that they had against Azuddin. Azuddin knows this. If the GRA had that case going still, the US couldn't proceed with their extradition request. And he could stand in Parliament and ask, well, why did they drop the case? Why did they drop the case? And people like Anand Jagdeo would eat that up and repeat it. You hear Azuddin talk? They dropped the case against he. It's the government. He didn't owe no money. The ability of these people to bold-face lie to Guyanese who don't know better. And that's that PNC demographic that gonna run with the foolishness. Because some of them ain't gonna take the time was the Master Bharat? No, what? Was your Master Bharat no complicit but torn about? And then your age showing, brother. Your age showing. Relax yourself, buddy. Relax. Running mad over there. Here it's cold in Canada. I know you're experiencing brain freeze or something like that. But calm down, brother. It ain't the serious. It ain't the serious. Jeez. I can imagine when your wife got dealing with you. Oh, minus 40 in Canada. That's why Anand probably running mad. That's why Anand probably running mad. This is minus 40. That's crazy. Anyway, Azuddin, that is shameful. You know exactly why GRA dropped that case. And for you to go to the National Assembly and try to mislead Anand in the inbox saying he challenging me or any of the PPP dummies to refute allegations made by the opposition leader. You didn't hear the people, the ministers and the MP refute allegations made by the opposition leader, the opposition MPs and everybody else. What allegations has been made that Minister Vikram Bar didn't know how much grams does make an ounce? How we verifying though? Huh? What? You want me to call you back? You want me to call you back, Anand? Let me know. You want me to call you back to let me know which allegations you want the people to verify? What allegations you hear from Azuddin Mohammed that you're saying that the government can debunk? Please, Anand. I'm about to wrap up. I plan to do a 2-hour session. We got 4 minutes left. This is you time. Tell us, Anand in my inbox. Let me call you back. Let me share the screen first and then we can call you back. Let me call back Anand. Hey, you make a joke with these people? Wait, like Anand block me. The thing is ringing. Good. Let me share the screen and get back Anand in the picture. Yeah, Anand, what's the allegations you're talking about?
And not knowing
What
how many
variations are you
candidates.
talking about?
Okay, listen to me. Are you gonna let me speak? Okay. I'm not concerned about the petty comments like those. Okay? And all of the MPs do it.
What
Okay?
allegations are you talking about?
I'm gonna get to it. Can you hold on?
No,
Okay.
I'm ready to wrap
So
up
for
my
one,
show. Get to them now.
okay. So for one, I'm gonna give you. He asked the question about the 19,000 increase in pensioners, and asked whether the birth rate in Guyana in 1961 was 19,000 to support that. What do you and your masters have to say to that?
Anna, please repeat yourself. You sound very confusing there. You said the pensioners and then you went to birth rate.
He said that every year the amount of pensioners kept going up. Okay, 1 year it was 3,000. The other year I think it was 6,000. But in this budget, it's 19,000. And he asked the question: where did the dishonorable minister find that 19,000 pensioners from? And was the birth rate in Guyana in 1961, which would have made them pensioners now, that high? Can you or your masters elaborate on that?
So you're saying that the birth rate in
I am not saying. I'm saying what the honorable opposition leader said. Did you not hear it? Or do you guys have selective hearing?
You shut your mouth now. I ain't let you talk. You gonna shut up so I can answer. You can shut up so I can answer.
You shut up. You call me back, and I'm gonna tell you. You have selective hearing.
Answer you.
You have selective. Do you have selective hearing?
Shut up so I can answer you.
I'm going to stop talking. But do you have selective hearing?
God of mercy. This is the ignorance.
Go ahead, answer me. Answer me.
This man make a point. He ain't even giving me a chance to talk. Soon as he hear 2 words, no. I didn't say.
No.
You have to listen to the point. I shut up and I told you to
go ahead. I'm gonna give you a chance.
Shut your mouth. Jeez, you like Odessa. You gave nobody chance to talk. So you are claiming that Azruddin Mohammed said that the birth rate in 1961.
I am not claiming. Did you not hear that? Okay, do you have selective hearing? Isn't that what he said? I listened to the speech. Did you?
My statement. This is classic case of when people, they don't even let you finish your statement to understand what you're saying.
Because I will not let
me take you off. I can't circumvent. You're an idiot. So Anand is saying to us, right, that Azruddin Mohammed said in Parliament that some birth rate in 1961 shouldn't allow us to have the amount of pensioners we have now. Something to that extent, right? Me personally, Anand, I don't know how Azruddin come up with the calculation. I, as of right now, Anand, don't have access to the birth rate in 1961 so that I could, unlike you, make an informed statement on the facts. So I will endeavor to check the birth rate in 1961 and ask persons in the field if the birth rate in 1961 has any impact on the amount of pensioners that you have in 2026. However, Anand, I am of the view that every year persons get older and every year more persons become eligible for pension. So with the amount of pensioners increasing, how is that so strange? But you can have a conversation with Anand. Anand won't talk all the time. I allow Anand to explain himself. Hello.
Hello, Cordell. Good night.
Good night.
Just one thing I would like to know about this like Jagdev or whatever. Not Bharat. Your Jagdev.
I see that.
He said he's been following politics since '87.
Something like that.
I find it very interesting that someone at the age of 7 can understand the diction of somebody like Henry Kissinger and Kissinger counterpart in Canada. I hope you heard of the guy. You heard of a guy named Pierre Elliott Trudeau?
Yes.
Right? When you can convince me and your listeners that he was capable of that, right? Then I'll think about what he's saying. In the meantime, go wash his body, take a pee, and go to bed.
Thank you, sir. You see how people with sense catching on, and even with the timelines that he give. Right? With the timelines that he give. Oh my God. And does Anand take into consideration that people like Anand moving back to Guyana and requesting the pension, which they're entitled to as Guyanese? Remember, this is not your work pension. This is your old age pension. So you could have been a destitute rum boogie for all the days of your life. Once you meet that age, it's your entitlement. So you got overseas-based Guyanese coming back, people adding to the pension list every year as they get to the age of eligibility. And I don't understand why the number of pensioners increasing. You see why the vice president said we said? But apparently, they got some stupid people outside of Guyana too. Some of them in Canada. Namely Anand Jagdeo. And look at your last name. A name synonymous with sense. Champion of the earth. A name associated with being one of the sharpest political minds across the Caribbean and this part of the hemisphere. Look at Anand assessment. Sally Jones used trouble. Listen, guys, it has been a wonderful 2 hours with you, looking back at these some aspects of the budget presentation. As I said to you on Friday next week, we have consideration of the estimates, which will run for 5 days, and then we'll have the vote to either pass or reject the budget. As you know, the government, with the seats that you, the people of this country, decided that they must get, will allow them to pass their budget and continue their developmental agenda. Right? Right. Anyway, I was happy to talk with Anand. Thank you for the callers who took the time to call in and share their views on what we were discussing. That's it from me for this evening. We might do something tomorrow night as well, as we head into budget estimates 2026, consideration of the estimates of 2026, right? Again, that will start on Monday, the 9th of February. Also happening this evening, I hope Anand was able to tune into that live. We had the opening of the Bay Rock Athletics ground. So I saw Minister Ramson and Jacobs and Minister Onishwaran, McCoy, Minister of Labor, quite a few of the ministers. I think the entire cabinet would have went up there for that opening. And that is an excellent addition for Region 10, more so for the athletes of Region 10. This is a region that constantly produces and wins the inter-school competitions. Now that they have a synthetic track that they can properly train on and hone their skills for international competition, we can definitely look forward to more athletes putting Guyana's name on the international stage and bringing medals back home here to us. You know? So hats off to the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport in relation to bringing this project to its starting point. And we are looking forward to the completion of the other the ICC facility there in Mackenzie when that comes online, and all the other stadia being constructed across the country. Anyway, as I said, yes, Court Monday. Trouble. Anyway, people, as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. Jagdio, Adat. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no trees.